A white cat. Snowball lived in a quiet town. He worked at the local library, helping other cats find books and organizing the shelves. For Snowball, this job was the meaning of his life. He believed he was meant to do this forever. But one terrible day, everything changed. The head librarian, an old grey cat with sharp eyes, called Snowball into her office. Her words were cold and direct. "We no longer need you here." Snowball's heart sank. He couldn't believe it. His paws shook, and he felt like the ground was falling from under him. He had lost the job that made him feel important and needed. His mind raced, full of questions. Why him? What would he do now? Without the library, who was he? Days passed, and Snowball couldn't stop thinking about his lost job. What will I do now? What is my purpose? He asked himself. His world felt dark, and nothing seemed to make sense anymore. He felt like his life had lost all meaning. Finally, a friend told him about an old wise cat who lived on the edge of town. The wise cat, known as Sage, was said to give advice to those who felt lost. Snowball, feeling desperate, decided to go see Sage. When Snowball came to Sage, he found him sitting under a large oak tree. Sage was a calm old cat with deep green eyes that seemed to hold all the wisdom in the world. Snowball sat down next to him and poured out his heart. "I lost my job, and I feel like my life has no meaning anymore," he said. His voice was trembling. Sage listened quietly. After a long pause, he spoke softly but firmly. "Sometimes, what seems like the end is really just the beginning of something new. You have not lost your life's purpose. You've lost one part of your journey, but your journey is not over." Snowball thought about Sage's words. They gave him hope. Maybe losing his job wasn't the end. Maybe there was something else out there for him, something he just hadn't found yet. With renewed hope, Snowball set out to find a new job. He applied everywhere, at libraries, bookshops, and even at the local art gallery. But every time, he was rejected. "Sorry, we're not hiring," they would say, or "You don't have the skills we need." With each rejection, Snowball's heart grew heavier. The hope that Sage had given him began to fade. His paws felt tired from walking to so many places, and his spirit felt crushed. One evening, Snowball sat by the river, staring at his reflection in the water. "Maybe I'll never find a new job," he whispered. "Maybe Sage was wrong. Maybe this is the end." Feeling defeated, Snowball decided to visit Sage again. He needed more advice, something that would help him make sense of his struggles. When he found Sage again under the oak tree, Snowball didn't hesitate. "I tried everything," Snowball said, "but nothing is working. No one will hire me. I feel like I'm going in circles." Sage nodded and smiled gently. "You are looking for what you lost, but not for what you could find. Sometimes we must stop chasing what is gone and open our eyes to new possibilities. Don't look for a job just because it's what you know. Look for something that brings you joy, something that makes you feel alive." Snowball left Sage with these words echoing in his mind. For the first time, he stopped thinking about his old job and started thinking about what made him happy. He remembered how much he loved to draw as a kitten. He used to spend hours drawing pictures of trees, clouds, and other cats, but he had given up drawing when he started working at the library. The next day, Snowball found his old drawing supplies, which had been gathering dust in a corner of his house. He sat down and began to draw. At first, his paw was shaky, but as he continued, the lines became smoother, and the images in his mind flowed onto the paper. Hours passed, and by the time the sun set, Snowball had filled several pages with beautiful drawings. Snowball felt alive again. He realized that drawing brought him a joy he hadn't felt in a long time, even more than his job at the library. Snowball started drawing every day, and soon other cats noticed his talent. They asked him to draw portraits of their families, their homes, and their favorite places. Snowball's drawings became so popular that the local art gallery asked him to display his work. What started as a small hobby had turned into something much bigger. His life had a new purpose. Snowball realized that losing his job at the library wasn't the end of his life's journey. It was the beginning of a new and even more exciting chapter. One day, as Snowball was walking home from the art gallery, he passed by the old oak tree where Sage often sat. Sage looked up and smiled when he saw Snowball. "I see you've found your path," he said. Snowball smiled back. "I have. Thank you for your wisdom." Sage nodded. "Remember, Snowball, life is full of twists and turns, but if you keep your heart open, you will always find your way."